So we have two box plots here, and we want to answer some questions about them. So our first question here is, to the nearest integer, what is the median of variable x? So remember with the box plots here that we have the smallest value is the min, and then we have Q1, and then the median, and then Q3, and then our maximum at the very end. So if we're looking for the median, we're looking for that center value here. So we're just going to follow that down here. So our median here is roughly, our median here is roughly at about 40. So we're going to do the same thing here. So we want to find the third quartile for variable y. So we're looking at this bar here. So we're going to follow that down. So give or take roughly about 52. And then C, we want to know which variable has more dispersion. So we can see there that y has more dispersion. And so why does the variable y have more dispersion? So if we have look there at it, first of all, we can look at the IQR and the range. So let's compare the range and the IQR for variables x and y here. The range is just the difference between the largest and smallest. So we look at this is roughly about 15 or so for the min for x, and the max is roughly about maybe 60. Right. So the difference there between those values there is about 45 for x, the range, and if we look at y, we're looking at about 0 to 110, so that range is about 110. And IQR is the difference here within those values, so this looks like it's about 45 to 35. So x's IQR is about 10, whereas y, we're looking at about 52 to about maybe 12. So its IQR is 40. So we're going to say the variable y because its range and, so we're going to relate to both of those, and IQR are both larger. So we don't know anything about standard deviation, but we definitely know those two things looking at our box plot there. So next questions, we want to know the shape of variable x and the shape of variable y. So I look in here, I'm just going to add an extra column. So looking at variable x, we see the rectangle there is nice and even, and then my tail portions are even. So the shape for variable x is symmetric. And if we look at variable y, we see the box isn't very symmetric, but we also look at the tails, and we see the right-hand tail is longer there. So this one is skewed right. So that's how we can read box plots.